I get and I always explain Cupreatas like this, like a mellow lactic kind of smell, almost like a queso. Queso,
Babas?
queso baba.
I can't say it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Mezcal Buzz Experience. Looks familiar, right? It's been a long time. We haven't been in this setup for a while with these shows going, right? So it's time to get them going again. And I have one of my very first guests, one of the most special guests I've had, again, my wife, Ilana. Hey, welcome.
Sup, Mezcal Buzz.
So, already popping the mic. We got to get back into it. It's been such a long time that we've done this, and there's been a lot of talk about I want to do it, and we did a lot of things since those first episodes. We started a family.
That's right.
We migrated from Mexico City back to California.
Yep, that's right.
So all our stuff was like in boxes, and
That's it's been a lot of things going on. Like you said, this podcast is only 30 minutes, but I feel like it's a little bit of time for a lot of time that we've been moving and doing a lot of things. Till the day I got my residency and moving. And
well, let me stop you there.
Whoa.
We'll get into that. Let me just welcome everybody back and say, this podcast is only 30 minutes. If you're new to this podcast is called the Mezcal Buzz Experience. The goal and the objective of this podcast is to have some cool and interesting people on and introduce them to the world of mezcal. We're going to be tasting 4 different mezcales, and I'll share this lovely mezcal next to me in just a second. I also want to mention that I also look forward to having industry professionals and people that are in the alcohol, specifically the agave spirits industry. So I've been talking to a lot of you out there that may be watching. This is like the proof of concept once again that I got the setup back. We got everything rolling and it can be done again. So I'm ready to go. So if we've talked, you know who you are. Let's get it going and let's do this. With that said, let's get going, babe. We'll get into some cool conversations. I definitely want to fill everybody in what that journey looked like for us.
Okay.
And let us begin, right? I want to share this mezcal with you today. This is a new mezcal coming to the market. I've had the pleasure of working with the brand called Chagual, Mezcal Chagual. They are from Mexico. They are produced in Oaxaca, in different parts of Oaxaca. We have 4 different expressions, and I'll share that in a second. And they are new to the Southern California market, and that's one of the reasons why I'm sharing them today. And I had, like I said, the privilege of working with them in a past event and sharing it with others.
They are so beautiful. The bottles are just stunning. I cannot stop staring at them. I mean, each one are different from the other. And so just tell me, my mouth is pretty dry. I want to start tasting these guys. So what are we starting with?
So we're going to start with the Mezcal Espadin. It's going to be the first one on your left. Mm-hmm. This is, I don't want to call it a standard mezcal, but a lot of you guys who have been in the world of mezcal and are getting new into mezcal, you'll know that about 80 to almost 90%, that number's changing, I think, these days. It's the majority of mezcales are going to be Espadin.
Espadines, most of them. Okay, so they're from Oaxaca. This one's an Espadin. It's 40% alcohol. So I'm starting to give it a little smell.
What's so funny?
That.
Yeah, ASMR over here.
Yeah.
Espadins always smell very fresh to me, very citrusy. I'm getting that right up front, some citrus aromas.
A little like flowers.
Okay, like white flowers.
White flowers, yes. Like the ones from, the orange trees, like sweet.
Yeah, orange blossoms.
Blossoms are called, yes.
Yes.
I love those smells from those flowers. So I think I have some of these flowers, scents of these flowers over here. And a little bit of smokiness.
You get smokiness.
A little bit, yes.
I'll add that my wife Ilana is fantastic with the nasal.
That didn't sound right, but
I know, but that's why I said the nasal.
I'm very lucky to have very good sense of smelling. Sometimes I enjoy it a lot. You know, you can be walking on the streets and in the parks and you can get these aromas and everything around, but sometimes it's scary because you don't know what you're gonna smell. You know, it's like, watch out, don't fart too close to me, please, because my nose is gonna just explode, you know.
All right. Well, with that, cheers.
Cheers. Very smooth. What do you think?
I think it's very smooth as well. I also think it is smoky. That smokiness really shows up in the flavor on that first taste, but not, I was going to say not overly smoky. And I'll say that it could always change from person to person. Right. I think between the two of us, enjoy even more smoky profiles than what I would. So how would you describe this on smoking?
I'll say 1 or 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not too smoky.
You go again. I was gonna say 2 or 3.
In the second one, you tried it more. Like I felt it more. Mm-hmm. And when you do the deep red, like just you feel more.
Yeah. I would say that this also, it stands out to me right now on that smokiness. I'll call it like a bitterness as well. So,
yes,
which comes in this instance, I would say, from a smokiness sensation. I do notice the sweetness as well and those citrus notes, but a little bit less than the upfront smokiness.
For sure.
Which you would say is something that you enjoy a lot. I like it too. And
it's good, smoothie.
The alcohol's present. It has a slight kick in the mouth, not too hard. So I think it'd be a good starter for somebody as well.
So something I am noticing too, and wasn't the purpose, this one is only 30% alcohol. So this is the lowest one. We'll see how it keeps going.
It would be great in cocktails as well. A lot of people like the mezcal flavors in cocktails now. That smokiness, bitterness goes with good with sweet, and goes good with salty and sour. So
that's right. So something you guys didn't know is that my first video and podcast I did with you, we didn't know that I was actually expecting.
Oh yeah.
And the sense of my smells were a little more strong than it is right now. For some reason.
It was also pre-COVID because during your pregnancy is when we ended up getting COVID.
Wait, yes.
Oh.
See, like there's a lot of things going on between us and our marriage and family and everything. So 30 minutes is gonna be a little bit. But anyways, I was pregnant, but we didn't know yet. And so my smelling and everything and the nauseous and everything, it was there all the time, I forgot my point, but anyways, that happens a lot. Because I'm thinking something that I want to say, but I'm thinking of something in the future as well, and I forgot the sentence I was going to say right now.
Something about your aromas, your sense of smell. We were pregnant.
Some women's, in my case, when I was pregnant, my aromas and everything was more intense. Your
sense of smell was just kicking in.
It was very much. I remember when my sister was pregnant, I will have her symptoms. Like I will get the nauseous and I will smell everything and I will have all those symptoms. Her husband, he didn't have them. It was me and my sister. So if someone out there is dealing or struggling with the same thing, I want to hear it.
Yeah, and they say that las parejas or like couples, usually sometimes husbands will get some of the symptoms of
their
pregnant
wives.
wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I did not.
I feel like since we're sisters and we're like the same parents and stuff, of course, I feel like we kind of had those symptoms or something like that. I don't know. It's crazy.
Okay. Do you think that Well, never mind. I'll keep that for the next thing. But do you think that's why our daughter's a little crazy? We have a crazy little daughter, beautiful daughter.
What do you
She
mean?
was drinking when she was pregnant.
No, I was not drinking. But some of the doctors said that it's not too bad if you have once in a while a cup of wine, red wine. So once in a while, I used to have 1 cup of wine. Yes, I have to admit it. But again, I would never do anything while I was pregnant to affect my daughter. You know what I mean? So I will always ask the doctors, and I will always ask what's okay. Also, you get rid of caffeine. So I was not able to have cafe every morning, and that will give me a very bad and angry feeling every single morning, because you have to have coffee to have a happy morning. So if you don't have coffee in the morning, I had to replace it for matcha, right?
Oh yeah.
And I have a blog about that.
A plug. Let's go to the next one
Sure.
while you go into that. The next mezcal we're gonna taste is a Tobala. Mezcal Tobala. Do you like?
The smell.
We had a Tobala
On the plant.
last week. You guys will see on the channel. We did a tasting with Mezcal Honor y Amor, a very good Tobala. Tobala is a very pleasant mezcal. I think it's the second most it's the second mezcal in demand is the Tobala.
It's this one.
This one is from Santa Maria, Ecatepec.
45% alcohol.
And I didn't mention it in the last one. This Maestro Mezcalero is Mariluz Garnica. So they have a Maestro Mezcalero that oversees the production of the different mezcales that are being produced. And then they have, I don't know if to call them sub maestros. They have other maestros because they're in different palenques that these are being produced. The last one, I believe, was produced in Totolhuapan in Oaxaca, the Central Valleys. And this one is in Santa Maria Ecatepec, I believe is in the Chontal region,
Okay.
which is a little more south from the Central Valleys.
How do you know that much?
I read, I studied, and I talked to the maestros or the brand people, but specifically I did study. I was in 2 programs. One was the Agave Spirits Institute, the first program I was in, and I went all the way through level 4.
And you were there for a week.
Well,
You went to
the whole
Oaxaca.
program was several months. The last finishing, to finish it up in the level 4 was spending 9 days in Oaxaca. And then I was also in Oaxaca with CEMES, el Centro de Estudios de Maguey y Mezcal in Oaxaca. So I've invested a lot of time in trying to learn and really immerse myself in this, so I can know as much as I can when we're speaking of it and keep learning, right? So this is still a learning process. We've been out of the tasting videos for a while, so I feel like this is definitely a practice that we're getting back into.
Tell me what you smell.
This one smells very ripe to me, like sweet, ripe fruits, almost like ripe pineapple or
Okay.
plantain. Very perfumey as well, very florally. What about you?
Do you know what I smell? Like, I cannot smell something like fruits or nothing in this one. But
Really?
you know when you're opening a new book you purchase and you smell the
pages.
book? Yeah, I feel like I smell something like that in this one. Like notebook pages, I want to call it.
That's cool. I wonder how to describe that also more generally.
Wait, I think I smell some like peach.
Okay. Some stone fruit, some peach? Would you say like a ripe peach or a fresh cut peach? I like having her doing tastings with me. And it's interesting because when I was really into the programs that I was in and really picking up the channel was when we found out that you were pregnant, and I went to Oaxaca and I was doing tasting videos. And so a lot of times I would have to be like, hey babe, smell this, but she couldn't taste with me. So I mean, I think this is cool now that we're trying to start this back up again. I really want to be very committed to these videos, to the channel, and really Mezcal Buzz as a whole to bring content to everybody, but also I think a great opportunity for us to pick up where we could have been previous to the pregnancy, post-pregnancy, coming back to California. I was a year away from you guys.
Yep.
It was a really hard time. So having the channel was like not a priority, but it was definitely a mental priority. But it's been hard, you know. Now working full-time, I'm a full-time videographer is what I do for a living, but this is something that I want to like really pick back up. So I don't know, I just wanted to throw that note out there, and I enjoy this very much with you, and I think we should do more.
I agree. Cool. Yeah.
Wow. Definitely a nice kick step up from the Espadin. A very pleasant sense of, I get the alcohol in there more. It's a higher percent.
It.
I would describe it as perfumey. I think there's
Very perfumey.
very complex.
I feel like eating.
Those flowers.
I feel like eating a nut book. It
A
tastes,
nut book?
No. I feel like eating a book. You know, like a brand new book.
Yeah.
And they smell like a book. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm eating it, but like in a good sense. And like it smells like pages to me, and like floral.
I get the sense that she likes to read.
I don't really read that much.
No, I'm just making a joke about you really loving a book right now. I don't know.
Well,
That's cool. This is fantastic.
me too. So from these two, I'm liking the Tobala better, and I also like the stamp. I don't know who this guy is.
That's my friend Quetzalcoatl right there.
Quetzalcoatl. That stamp looks so badass.
Yeah, let's talk about the bottles really quick.
Yes.
I think they have a...
Can I lift it?
I don't know, can you?
I don't know. Let me see.
Shit.
That's something my daughter will do.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I like the shape.
Yeah, the bottle is a very, very beautiful design. It's blown glass. I feel like it's, I don't know if it's like recycled glass, but it has like that hint of green to it. It's not 100% clear. I mean, I have the green light in the back, which affects it a bit, but I know when I was shooting it before, it has like a hint, beautiful, unique shape to it. Feels very premium. I think these emblems on the front look fantastic as well. We have the conejo here. I believe it comes from that legend of the conejos de los 400 conejos. I think they represent the estados de ebriedad, the drunk. I don't want to say drunkenness, but it's like the 400 stages of
Empedamiento.
ebriedad. Yeah, of being intoxicated. I want to say my abuel, but I'm a little mixed up here. Gave pulque to the 400 gods, which were represented by the conejos.
It would make sense, because right here I see
Could be off, but
another conejo, and in his chest or her chest, it also has a Quetzalcoatl here.
yeah, you'll see the conejo referenced in a lot of the mysticism and.
This is Quetzalcoatl as well.
Let me see. Yeah,
Do they have them
the
in other
feathered
bottles?
circles.
You really
Except
need
the
to
one.
come and grab one of these bottles, and you're gonna enjoy them.
Yeah, I agree. I think hopefully on the channel soon. If not on their website, we'll be updated with where in Southern California they're going to be available. They're already in talks with the distributor on getting them out to the different vendors, I'll say. So on location or on premise and off premise. So restaurants, bars are going to carry it, and some liquor stores and stores. So that should be updated here pretty soon. But yeah, that was a great tasting.
How are we doing on time?
We're good on time. We could go over. I think we need to get through these. So one thing we were mentioning, let's go. Want to go to the next one?
Wait.
Go ahead.
Why do we have pineapple and chocolate here?
Just so something that we could pick at. Some, fresh fruits go well with mezcales. Not all fresh fruits, but I think pineapple is a good one that goes good. We have chocolate here. This is chocolate aranda, which I got with the work I was doing with Mezcal Campante. So this is 70% cacao. It's infused with Mezcal Campante. This chocolate, it's a dark chocolate. It's just something for us to pick at while we're tasting.
Awesome. Okay. So earlier you were mentioning something that we got COVID. Yes, we did. Do you wanna try another one before we get into?
Let's go on to the next one. This is great because the next one is actually a mezcal Cupreata. So we had Espadin, Tobala, and a Cupreata.
Cupreata.
Mm-hmm. What did I say? Cupreata. I guess this sounds like the podcast we did with Tigre. Se dice tigre. She can't even say it. I know, that's what she told me last time. But this is Cupreata. Cupreata is this one that they make is on the border. They produce it in a region. I forgot the name, but the region is bordering Guerrero. And Guerrero, the mezcales that come from Guerrero are typically with Cupreata. Cupreata grows endemically all over the state of Guerrero. So if you have a mezcal Cupreata, it's likely from Guerrero. It's in other regions as well. But so this is a really nice change up here on the lineup of going from Espadin, Tobala, and Cupreata, which is produced in Oaxaca, but again in the bordering regions with Guerrero. Hence the agave Cupreata.
And this one is also 45% alcohol. Mm-hmm. Cheers. Cheers. Let's give it a smell first. It smells pretty plain.
Plain to you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was an interesting one to go after the Tobala, which was very complex in both the aromas and the flavors. Mm-hmm. To follow it up with a Cupreata, but Cupreata, I wouldn't call it plain, but it's more, I get, and I always explain Cupreatas like this, like a mellow lactic kind of smell, almost like a queso,
babas.
¿Qué es queso baba?
I can't say it.
Well, tell me later, because did you make a nasty joke or what? Okay. That one flew over my head. Queso baba.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I can stop it. Okay.
But do you get that smell?
Uh-huh.
Like a queso cotija is what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, queso.
Let's see what it tastes.
Okay. Oh, I like this. Smoky.
Yeah. Not so much smoky against me.
A little bit. Like 3.
I get that mellow lactic, like queso flavor again, or like, but it's some sweetness to it. So even like some dulce de leche, or even almost like a cajeta taste. A little bit of coffee taste to me. That bitterness is like a coffee grinds I get. It's not so prickly in the mouth. It's not rough, but it has a nice aftertaste too. Long aftertaste, I would say.
I don't
Yeah, I compare it to coffee, this one.
coffee. Okay. I don't get too much as flavors
Interesting.
in here. But yeah, like you said, I kind of feel some
Very fermented flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one.
a little bit
I'm actually going to taste it
smoky.
with chocolate.
Sure. Okay. Pretty basic, this one. Not my favorite. I like it. It's good. I like it. Not my favorite. I'll finish it though.
So of the first, you wouldn't say it's as complex. I wouldn't call it so complex either. So basic might be a good word for you to say. It doesn't have a lot of complexity in the flavors, but the flavors that it does has are very unique and I think specific to the Cupreata and this Mezcal.
Okay.
Because like an Espadin as well, I don't think it's as complex as like the Tobala that we tasted.
Okay.
But it has complete different profile than the Cupreata.
It
You know what I mean?
makes sense. Okay.
Go to the next one. This is a Jabali.
Oh.
We're talking about a whole nother. Jabali is one of my favorites.
They are. Do you like them so much?
It smells like pine forest to me. Like a citric pine. But like citric, like yellow lemon,
Yes, to me too.
pine tree,
A little
Wood.
earth.
okay.
Wood.
But like fresh, like cut trees wood, not
Yes.
like lumber.
Oh, no,
or
no, no, like
you know,
fresh.
Like a forest.
Like Yosemite.
Like
We
Yosemite.
recently went to Yosemite to spend our what was it? The
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
So not so recent, almost half a year ago.
Oh my God, yes.
More than half a year ago, almost.
November.
Thanksgiving. I'm gonna taste it. Yeah, that smells good. I think it was almost like the best for last for me.
Ay, quédame. Oh, so sweet.
You're lucky that this is tasting so good, and it just got me right now. I was gonna say something.
Okay.
Women, don't say that to your men. Don't say like, I gave him my child. You can't say that. I gave you your child. Do you want us to go there right now? I put her there.
We always have this argument.
This is fire.
I liked it.
This is fire. This is my favorite one.
Jabali. Tell us why they call them jabali.
My understanding is that they're called jabali. A jabali is a warthog. And so, like the tusks of a warthog, the jabalis grow in very rocky areas. They grow very usually tight in a bunch. Like where you see one, you'll see a lot together. And I think because they're so together like that, their pencas, the long spears that they have, they come into each other like that. So they curve like
They're
that.
here. Yeah.
No, they're like this. You look like a little teapot. So, but yeah, that's why they're called jabali. And a jabali is also I don't want to say a rare mezcal, but it's one of the more difficult ones to produce. So a lot of maestro mezcaleros don't produce them. A lot of them are starting to produce them now because of the demand and the growth of mezcal. And this is a fantastic tasting one. But it's difficult to produce. For the amount of maguey that you use for the mezcal, it has less of an output of mezcal. It also is difficult, and during the fermentation, it has a chemical that's called, all magueys have sapomines. It's called sapomines, which creates foam. I think they use that in soap as well, but it creates a lot of foam. All of them have that chemical in them, but Jabali is the one that has the most sapamines. That it just produces so much foam that the tubs get filled up, and so you can't fill up a whole tub with a lot of maguey to ferment, because there's not going to be a lot of room for it, and so it produces less, and it's a difficult one to produce. So when you do have one, having that in mind and then tasting these unique flavor profiles is fantastic. I like this one. Yeah, it keeps reminding me of like pine. Even the flavor was a little sour almost.
It's a little beautiful smell. I'm sorry, I'm still sitting here.
She's like damn, this is good. Every time I want to say something on her, I taste this and it stops me. Like,
oh, I know what it should be waiting for you every time you come back from work. Like,
yeah, you wait for me with a nice mezcal. That'd be fantastic.
You guys really, really, really need to try this one. The Jabali, it also has 45% of alcohol. I don't know how to describe this one. It's very smooth, a little bit of smokiness, which I love smokiness. I smell like flowery.
Flower?
Yes, flowers in here. Like,
I smell plants. I smell like greenery, but not flowers. I smell like when I was a kid, I used to eat the clovers from the grass. They grew where the flowers were, but they weren't 4-leaf clovers, but they were a lot of little clovers, and they tasted very sour. They had a sour taste. Drop that like button if you used to eat the clovers in the field. But they remind me of that type of green. It's not sour like a lime, or sour like that makes you pucker, but
you know what I get sometimes in here too? Like this one, like lactose sort of thing in here, right?
Mm-hmm. Fermentation,
it's called. Okay.
Well, it's from the fermentation. Yeah, I did too. Almost like vinegar. Almost. I get it.
Not me. But like cheesy.
Okay. So down the line, which one was your favorite to least favorite?
This
one. Mine too.
Jabali was my first one. Then the Tobala.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna taste that.
And then I think it was a tie between the Espadin and the Cupreata. I think I like better the Cupreata than the Espadin.
I do too. I think it was like that for me as well. Thank you guys if you made it this far and you're still watching. I think this is a journey that we're starting again, and I want to make sure that we could keep doing it. We, like you said, had to figure out a babysitter situation here. I think if we've spoken before about doing the podcast, definitely let's set it up. I want to bring to the viewers more guests as well. We could have more conversations on a BTS note here. It's it's just the two of us here right now, so we're going back and forth. Ilana was helping me set up and arrange. We had a flipped up location upside down where we're at, make sure we could bring this to you guys. So I think they're gonna get better. Work with us here. We're figuring it out how to get this back up and running. Again, I'm excited to have Ilana with me today. I have a lot of fun doing this with you, so I think we're just gonna get better. No?
Totally. What do you guys think? Which one would you like to try? If you go to a store, which one would you like to try and to take with you at home? Would you make any cocktails with these guys? And if so, which one?
Just the Espadin.
You will make cocktail with this one?
Maybe with the Tobala.
You need to tell them about the cocktail you've been doing to us with the jocote.
Yeah, I'll make videos. I'll make some videos of cocktails, but
he's just being like that. But he recently made us all a cocktail with the jocote. It's a fruit, and they boil it with sugar and some other things. I don't know how to make them. And that cocktail was one of my favorites, and it was really
Well,
good.
I need to take you to Gema in San Clemente. That cocktail was inspired by Gema's cocktail
Okay.
called tecojote. That's what the cocktail's called. Made with tejocote. Slight different. You guys should go down there, try it, and then you'll get the joke of the name. But yeah, it was inspired by a fantastic restaurant. Shout out to Chef Pablo. If you guys have a chance to visit Gema and the Mezcal library that he has down there in San Clemente, check out the channel. There's a video I did with him when I went to pay him a visit, and I would like to go back soon. Maybe I could take you and the family so we can try that cocktail and other ones. And yeah,
Great.
let's wrap. You guys, thank you for watching as always, and we'll catch you next time.